Right, we'll do that again. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Sunday afternoon activity period, RAYNET-UK. Greg is having some issues with hotspot this afternoon, so I'm going to jump on the net at the last moment. And I'm guessing that G4KUJ Trevor is doing the log, and thank you for that, Trevor. This is a directed net, so all stations will go through control unless otherwise advised. And the net is being live streamed by myself, Graham, G780H. It's available on YouTube by searching G780H Ham Radio. Many thanks to all those that have subscribed in the past. Please leave a thumbs up if you like the stream. Very much appreciated. So with that, we'll start doing some check-ins. So we'll start with anybody with figure 8 in their call sign.
Golf 8 Kilo Lima Charlie 38 KLC, and you're breaking up a little bit, but it's got workable. Golf Juliet Golf Juliet 8 Papa Victor Lima, Peter in the island of Jersey.
Golf 8 Echo Yankee G8 EEY, name is Mike.
Okay, we have G8 KLC, G8 EEY, and G8, and I've missed the call sign because I haven't got my dashboard up. Bear with me. And GJ8 PVL. Good afternoon, gentlemen, and thanks for your patience. Any more G8s wish to any more people with 8 in the call sign wish to check in? Nothing heard. So we'll move down to the 7s. Anybody with 7 in the call sign would be able to check in now, please.
Mike 7 Alpha Victor Oscar. And thanks for stepping in. Alpha Victor Oscar.
M7 AVO, good afternoon. Any other 7s wish to check in? Okay, we'll move down to the 6s. Anybody with 6 in their call sign, would they wish to check in now, please?
Golf 6 Papa Delta Echo, Chris.
Golf 6 Delta Echo, good afternoon, Chris. Any other 6s wish to check in?
Mike 6 November Yankee India, in and out.
Mike 6 November Yankee India, good afternoon. Noted that you're in and out. Many thanks for that. Let's move down to the 5s. Anybody with 5 in the call sign would like to check in now, please? Okay, nothing heard on the 5, so let's go down to the 4s. Anybody with 4 in the call sign would like to check in, please?
G7NEH, G4KUJ, Trevor in Watford, and yes, I'm logging, Graham.
Trevor, and thanks for the logging. Any other 4s wish to check in?
G4KIL, Philip, South Sussex.
Golf 4 Kilo, Whiskey Tango.
Okay, G4KIL, good afternoon, and G4KWT, also good afternoon. Okay, let's move on to the 3s. Anybody with 3 in the call sign would you like to call in now, please?
Golf 3 Zulu Hotel X-Ray, Ian.
Golf 3 Zulu Hotel X-Ray, good afternoon, Ian. Any other 3s that wish to check in? Okay, I'm getting 2E1 GDF, Golf Delta Fox. Are you wishing to call into the net, over?
One Golf Delta Foxtrot. There's Sean over in Derby. I was just doing it in and out, but I think I keyed up prematurely. 2E1 Golf Delta Foxtrot.
Okay, thanks for calling in. I've noted that you're in and out. Okay, let's move down to the 1s. Anybody with 1 in their call sign, would they like to check in now, please? Okay, nothing heard. Seen on the WX dashboard. Right, let's go down to the zeros. We'll start off with the G zeros. Any G zeros wish to check in now?
Golf Whiskey 0, Juliet Lima X-Ray, good afternoon, Graham. Name is Andy, RAYNET Pembrokeshire. No traffic today, so in and out, please. Over.
Zero JLX. Yes, good afternoon, Andy. Noted you're in and out. Thanks for checking in. Okay, any other G zeros wish to check in? Okay, nothing heard. Let's move on to the M zeros. Any M zeros who would like to check into this afternoon's net?
M0 Jones, Alan East Suffolk.
in and out, please.
Mike Zero Mike Foxtrot Sierra, Drew, West Devon, in and out.
Zero Whiskey X-Ray Golf, Shirley in Cornwall, with Andy Mike Zero ITM, whose radio's refusing to talk to the hotspot. Both in and out, and thank you very much, Graham.
If not, would just pop back and let me know. Okay, nothing heard. So we'll throw it open to anybody that has missed their allotted call-in period. If you want to call into the RAYNET Digital Voice Activity period, regardless of call sign, please call in now.
2 Echo 0 Charlie Mike Sierra, calling from Medway. I didn't actually hear you call out for the twos anyway, Graham.
Yeah, alright, Andrew, Preston Somerset. I didn't see my name or call sign come on the dashboard, so I think I may have been tripping over someone. Name's here, Andrew. But there we go. From G798. Anybody else?
Mike India 0, Mike Sierra Oscar, Philip and Northern Ireland Green.
G3V Parade. No traffic this afternoon. G3V8 Chris in Winchester.
So with that is the international stations that would like to check into the net this afternoon. Okay, that about ends the check-ins. And I haven't got a log sheet. I haven't got a view of Trevor's log, unfortunately, at the moment. So the G8 stations that called in, I've lost on my list apart from G8EEY. My apologies for that. So I'm going to pass it round to Mike, G8EY, and the other two stations with G8s that called in, and the GJ8, I'll then go to you. Perhaps Trevor can jump in and advise. So round to you, Mike, G8EY from G4NRC.
G4NRC from G8EEY. Yes, it was GJ8PVL, Papa Victor Lima, and G8KIL, Kilo India Lima, who were in before me, if I remember rightly. They've gone off the bottom of the dashboard. Well, yes, this makes it an interesting weekend, this, from that point of view. It's a bit chilly, but not too bad here, 10 degrees centigrade. 987.5 millibars, but it's interesting the atmospheric pressure is going to go down to 962 on Thursday and down to below 960, 959 on Saturday afternoon. Relative humidity is quite high, plenty of cloud, bit of drizzly rain. Winds are fairly light, but I've seen that there's a wind problem coming up, according to the Met Office, so we'll see what happens. That's later on in the week. From G8EEY.
G80YG4NRC. Yeah, thanks for that, Mike. Much appreciated. And yeah, it's very dull here and actually pouring with rain at the moment in Cheshire. And everybody remembered to put their clocks back last night. But having said that, I'm looking around what I've got, and I don't need to do any. It does it automatically, and I'm sure many are the same. Okay, thanks for that, Mike. I'm not quite sure how this net's going to go because I haven't got any news at this end. So I know it's out of order. I'm pleased. I apologise, but I haven't even got a pen and paper handy at the moment. So I'm going to pass it round to G8PVL if he wants to make any comments from G4NRC. Apologies, GJ8PVL.
Graham, and good afternoon to everybody on frequency. Yeah, the barometer's dropped here. I think it's about 982 where I am here. And they're forecasting gale force 12 for us in Jersey on Thursday, so it looks like it's going to be very, very windy. But this afternoon we've had some heavy rain and thunderstorms down here, so it's not been very pleasant going out. And luckily I managed to dodge the showers this morning and walking the dog there. So, but we have a bonfire night, which the Jersey RAYNET team we're going to provide the comms for on the 4th of November, which I think is next Saturday coming up, and it looks like that's going to be postponed until the 11th. So we're just waiting to see what the organisers are going to say over that. But we've got some mobile repeaters, two repeaters, one VHF and one UHF, to give us 2 channels for them for security and for marshalling. So that's what we're going to be setting up with a mobile trailer there, all being well. Okay, otherwise there's nothing much else from Jersey there, so I'm going to just not come in on the next round if that's all right. I'll just listen in for any comments there. So I'll pass it back to you, Graham, from GG.
GJ8 PVLG for NRC returning. Yeah, okay, thank you, Peter. And all noted on the weather conditions and the comments there. I've just looked on the live lightning map on the net, and yeah, I can see there's some lightning strikes way down the south of the country, just on the edge of the coast, and obviously where you are in Jersey and heading over to France. So there we go. And I do apologise, I've forgotten the other station, G8 call sign. If they would like to go now, please.
Just in case we know, I'll keep it short. G8KLC, Phil. No traffic really. Interesting AGM yesterday. We spent most of the day watching it online. Unfortunately, a 4.5 hour each way journey made it impossible to turn up. But well done to everybody involved. G8KLC Lincoln.
G8KLC, G4NRC. Okay, many thanks for that. And once again, apologies for getting the order wrong there. And noted you're out the next round. Okay, let's move a bit closer to home to M7ABO. Dave, good afternoon.
G4NRC. Mike 7 Alpha Victor Oscar. Yeah, good afternoon, Graham. Thanks for stepping in at short notice. I'll be having some difficulties. He's not popped up yet. So, thanks for taking over the net. Not a great deal this end. Bit of a strange, hectic week for myself, and possibly not one we want to repeat for a while, but that's a different story, but if anybody uses rechargeable batteries, I've just ordered some more. here online these are well recommended, and off certain internet sites have been going on, people that use radios and scammers are saying that the IKEA branded AA and AAA batteries are hard to beat. They're £8 for 4. So I've just ordered a couple of sets for £4 delivery. It does use AA or AAA, and once rechargeables, there's a quick update for anybody. Back to you, Graham. Mike 7, Alpha Victor Oscar.
M7AVO, G7AH, no, G4NRC even, returning. Okay, thanks, Dave. Yeah, interesting comments. Be nice to see how you get on with those the batteries when they arrive, and what sort of quality they are. Always useful to have around. And as regards your WhatsApp message before, I will dig out the relevant code plug and email it across to you with the correct information for GB7WX. Now I've noticed that Greg G0DUB has popped up on the list, so I'm going to go out of sequence because Greg may want to take on the net because he's probably got more information than I've got. So G0DUB, G4NRC. G4NRC, G0DUB at last. Okay. Just trying to keep up with the log as well. So, yeah, sorry, that was third hotspot. The simplex hotspot that normally sits here was not responding. Duplex hotspot is not responding, and now my mobile one, but on mobile broadband. So before I go any further, Graham, how copy? G4NRC, G0DUB, over. G4NRC, G0DUB. Yeah, loud and clear, Greg. No problems, no dropouts. Just looking at you on WX's dashboard, you've got a 6% packet loss, but I didn't detect any dropouts from you at all, over. G4NRC, G0DUB. Okay, do I sense you'd like me to take over then and run down the road? Are you happy to carry on? G0DUB, over. G0DUB. Yeah, if you would, Greg, because I haven't access to the log or any news items. Just to say that last week's viewing figures up quite a bit. We had 43 views and 5 likes on the stream last week. So many thanks for people for that. Yeah, if you want to take over, so Dave's just been, so you're on the 60s now. So I'll pass G4NRC over to you from G7AH. This is G4NRC, operated now by Boss Sierra Delta Uniform Bravo in the RAYNET-UK activity period on 23531 and 50G3531. Apologies, I'll explain the technical issues later. The news items for those that are itching to get through that first 5 minutes of the YouTube video and wondering what's going on. So, Merseyside RAYNET have had a training day on DMR today. Hopefully that will lead to more stations using the local talk groups rather than shutting us on a net. So we much appreciated if that happens. Yesterday's national AGM at Sully did not go quite to plan, although it changed the Articles of Association to allow online hybrid meetings as well as face-to-face back in 2021. Yesterday's meeting was called as a face-to-face meeting, and Zoom was only provided to allow members to view but not vote on proceedings in this case. Sadly, we did not achieve a quorum for the meeting within the 30 minutes allowed from the start. So since the wording in the Articles of Association says that we need a quorum of members entitled to vote and present in person, we could not go ahead with some of the business of the EGM or AGM. So, with apologies to those who travelled great distances to take part in the meeting, it will be reconvened online within the next 12 weeks as allowed for in the Articles of Association. Given the significance of the topics in the EGM particularly, it wouldn't really have been safe to take a decision without the requirements being met. Storm Kieran is coming through Wednesday and Thursday with very strong winds. There are rain warnings out to the south and west already, so please keep an eye on Met Office warnings as the forecasts are refined. And next week it's the IARU Region 1 Triennial Conference. I won't be around, I'll be flying back from Serbia at the time, so we're going to need somebody to take over the net next Sunday, please, in our planned manner. With that, next on the list it's Chris. Golf 6 Papa Delta Echo, G4 and RC, over.
From G6PD, good afternoon, Greg. Good afternoon, everyone. Only thing I've got to report is I had my most success to date with the HF digital nets yesterday. While everyone else was in the AGM, well, some people were in the AGM, I had some help from John in Dorset, G0VPJ, and managed to exchange several messages using Olivia on HF, so I was quite pleased with myself about that. Discovered I needed to install FL Message or FL MSG, so I've done that. Looking forward to trying that out next time around. Nothing more today, so you can count me off the list from now on. Thanks, Greg. G4 and RC from G6PDE.
G6PD, G4 and RC. Okay, Chris, glad you had some success yesterday. And it's still on my list to do a sort of video workflow of getting messages from FL Message into whatever data mode we feel like. Okay, thanks. It's next to Trevor, G4 KUJ, G4 and RC, over.
G4 and RC, G4 KUJ, yes. Welcome, Greg. Just to confirm that the packet loss on that last over from you was 10%. 100% readable, but packet losses were noticeable, shall we say. Okay, didn't manage to get to the AGM yesterday as I'm not able to travel too far at the moment, but did listen in on both the morning and the afternoon sessions. So back to you, nothing further at the moment. G4 and RC, G4 KUJ.
G4 KUJ, G4 and RC returning. Okay, Trevor, well, glad you were able to watch online, although I think you did WhatsApp me that there was some packet loss on that as well. Currently, I'm on my mobile hotspot out through the phone because that's how the mobile hotspot is set up to work. It's not through the home Wi-Fi. My UPS on the duplex hotspot failed while I was away, and this seems to have taken the SD card with it. So my fall back to the simplex hotspot indoors, for some reason that's gone deaf and wasn't hearing me, so I'm feeling particularly jinxed today. Anyway, it was nice to meet Philip yesterday. Over to you. Golf 4, Kilo India Lima, G4 and RC, over.
G4 and RC from G4 KIL, and likewise, great to see you all. And I was pleased to have made the trip. I mean, to be fair, I didn't worry that much if the AGM events didn't take place. If I'd been that concerned about the voting, I'd have probably put in proxy votes anyway and watched online. So it was meeting the people was kind of my main incentive. But obviously it's a bit disappointing, except that from my point of view, it probably meant we finished slightly earlier, which did just give me time to get an earlier train, so that was lovely. Oh yes, before I mention it, before I forget to mention it, it might be worth, Greg, if you've got a list of the stations you think you've got on net, it might be worth just running down them and then calling to see if there's anybody who was trying to call in and got missed and didn't realise it, because I think there was some doubling from control with some other stations while the calling in was taking place. So just a thought there. Kind of linked with that, I mean, thanks very much for Graham for taking over, and perhaps a challenge to us all, just thinking that, I think we did discuss before, what do you do when control fails, and of course, we sort of say, well, perhaps some sort of hierarchy of who takes over, but it does perhaps highlight for us all, it's all very well saying you're going to take over, but are we generally equipped to take over as control? In other words, have we got suitable pencils and papers and even a knowledge of who's on already? So there's something perhaps for us to think about in terms of the sort of question we do think about that sometimes. And I'm not sure how I would answer it. I'm glad it didn't come to me, let's put it that way, because to be honest, was probably not well enough equipped to do it. Okay, I think I'll leave it at that at the moment. I won't sign out yet because I might think of something before it comes out next time. G4NRC from G4KIL.
G4KIL, G4NRC. Yes, it's my apologies to Graham for dumping him in it, but as usual, while I was trying to fix the issues, I was in WhatsApp. So he just wound up as was in the wrong chat at the wrong time with Graham, please take over. So thanks to Graham for picking it up. I did see somebody else pop in on the log sheet. So there are a number of people on the net today who do have access to the log sheet and the links. So I wasn't sure if Graham was one of them. I have on the list Dennis, Golf 4 Kilo Whiskey Tango is next, followed by Ian, Golf 3 Zulu Hotel X-Ray, Alan, Mike 0, Juliet Sierra Alpha, Andrew, Mike Box 0, Romeo Delta Lima, Drew, Mike 0, Mike Foxtrot Sierra, Shirley, Mike 0, Whiskey X-Ray Golf, and Andy, Mike 0 and New Tango Mike, who I suspect are both in and out. Yes, my logist has just confirmed that. Colin, 2 Echo 0, Charlie Mike Sierra, Andrew, Mike 0, Romeo Oscar Lima, Philip, Mike India 0, Mike Sierra Oscar, Chris, Golf 3 Victor Echo Hotel, and already in and out are 2 Echo 1, Golf Delta Foxtrot, and Golf Whiskey 0, Juliet Lima X-Ray. So, with that suitable hint dispensed, are there any stations who were I just got a short blip. 2 Echo 0, Kilo Foxtrot Golf. Would you like to try again, over? And we'll try again. 2 Echo 0, Kilo Foxtrot Golf without the doubling, please. G4NRC, over. No, Chris, I know you're registered on the RAYNET system, but not coming back to me via your Brandmeister connection, so I'm going to leave you as a question mark for the moment. So, okay, we'll keep it moving. Dennis, Golf 4 Kilo Whiskey Tango, G4NRC, over.
Golf 4 Kilo Whiskey Tango. Yep, good afternoon, Greg. Good afternoon to the net. Coming in old school RF this afternoon by GB7 Bravo Kilo, the Pheonix repeater in West Berkshire, and all stations are loud and clear except for you, Greg. I don't have a packet loss display, but there's a lot of breakup. I'm just managing to grab all the words. Enjoyable AGM yesterday. 2 worthwhile and very interesting presentations in the morning, and it was a shame you couldn't get a quorum in the room, but I think that is in hand to sort that out, to bring in the online people. Doesn't see any reason why you shouldn't use online participants in this day and age. What else was I going to comment on? the general interest, the AX25 packet revival, which is 3 nodes in this area interconnected on with 77 9K6 packet, and on the 3 2-meter frequencies. So we're covered on 2 meters on the 3 frequencies that are generally available for packet. Just waiting for a few users to come along. The nodes are sitting here beaconing away and all ready to be used. And of course it's all PMR stuff, Raspberry Pi, so all battery operatable. So it's been great fun playing with that and tweaking the 9K6 to make it work. And the 9K6 I'm very impressed with. If you get it all set up right, it's very useful and incredibly quick if you're used to, as I am used to, old school 1K2 or 1200 baud. Nothing further from me. Back to net control. G4KWT.
G4KWT, G4NRC. Yes, we've got 3 or 4 nodes here in the northwest, back on packet radio, and it's a good feeder system. People say 1200 baud isn't fast enough, but how fast can you type? And if we can get the backbone nodes in at higher speeds, like 9.6, or with new packet radio 500 kilobits per second, there's no reason we can't have a multi-layer network like we used to have before the internet came along and spoiled it. Okay, next is Ian. Golf 3 Zulu Hotel X-Ray, G4NRC, over.
G4NRC and group, good afternoon, G3ZHX. It's been interesting to watch the handover of the net while it was actually active. I hope we can do as well in Aylesbury when similar things go wrong. But apart from that, I don't really have anything to say. I was rather hoping to have an update about what happened at the AGM yesterday, but it sounds like not a lot. So with that, I'll give it back to you. G4NRC, this is G3ZHX.
G3ZHX, G4NRC returning. Our handover is helped by us using the shared logging system. So Trevor was logging away quite happily what was going on, and I can just pick up the story without having heard anything. So that bit is good, and at least we've got this in servers where we can both type into it at the same time, and no nasty GDPR issues. Okay, so control transition is something we haven't practiced, but it can work, even without rehearsal like today. Right, States Alan, Mike 0, Juliet Sierra Alpha, you're not last today. G4NRC.
Yeah, good afternoon, mate. Thanks for that effort. I thought I may have to. But yeah, I don't know where the last week has gone. That's just, it only seems like 5 minutes ago I sat here doing the calling the last time. Haven't been out on an event that day. But no, so the week has flown by. Weather's been rubbish. No radio, really. Great work. I made a 4 metre flower pot aerial for a member of my club. And done a bit of work on odds and sods. That's about it, really. We'll have to see what the future brings for next week. Hopefully the weather won't be too bad. I spent 7.5 hours going to Heathrow and back on Wednesday. Back to you, Greg. G4NRC, M0JSA.
M0JSA, G4NRC. Okay, although you're all noting packet loss from me, I'm getting quite a lot of packet loss from other stations. So I'm guessing it's my link that's going to be the issue, since it is the mobile phone as I can get it in the office here. moving on, because I know we're running late. Andrew, Mike 0, Romeo Delta Lima. Mike 0, Romeo Delta Lima. G4 and RC, over. Mike 0, Romeo Delta Lima. Mike 0, Romeo Delta Lima. Wondering if you might have been in and out. It was logged right. G4 and RC, over. G4 and RC, nothing heard. Okay, Drew, it's next to you. Mike 0, Mike Foxtrot Sierra, G4 and RC, over.
G4 NRC from M0 MSS. Actually, I wasn't in and out, but given that you called, sorry to hear about the AGM. If it's going to be done within the next 12 weeks, maybe I can have a go this time and get in there. Still playing with Arden and not having an awful lot of success, and preparing for the Cornwall Marathon next week. Other than that, not really a lot to add from M0 MFS.
Mike 0, Mike Foxtrot Sierra, G4 and RC. Okay, a marathon next week. That seems rather late in the season, but hopefully the weather is on their side or the wind is behind them, whichever comes easier. Okay, apologies, guys. I do have a feeling for which stations are normally in and out and which ones aren't, but since I was getting distinctly variable performance while I was trying to get that number 3 hotspot running, but did miss that. Okay, Trevor's not actually shown he was out this time either, but I think we'll be doing a very quick fly down for any final comments from people to finish this round. Colin, 2 Echo 0, Charlie Sierra, 2E0 CMS, G4 and RCM.
Yeah, from 2E0 CMS. Yeah, afternoon, Greg. I'm glad you got back on eventually. Yeah, I've had a good week. Probably seen some of the comments in the Facebook group. Went up to Sheffield to do a presentation on resilience communications for the National Fire Chiefs Council's Business Continuity Group, and that was very well received. Introduced, well, actually, to be fair, most of them have actually heard of RAYNET, but explained a little bit about what we do. And then a little bit about the Starlink and voice over internet phones and DMR and a few other things. And it was all very good. Lots of very relevant questions asked about RAYNET and the equipment itself. Well worth the drive up there, even though it did take 5 hours to do the 200 miles, thanks to a problem with the Dartford crossing, which is pretty usual. It only took me 3.5 hours to get back. So I actually drove up the night before and stayed in a hotel, so I was fresh for the morning. But apart from that, I haven't got anything else to add for the moment. G4 NRC 2E0 CMS.
To Echo 0, Charlie Mike Sierra, G4 and RC in the RAYNET-UK activity period. Yeah, glad the National Fire Chiefs Group received you well. The continued mention of voice over internet does remind me that we had another idea in mind, aside from doing DMR, but trying to do some kind of central VoIP exchange, because just like the comments with Arden last week, helped by Steve, if we have lots of little puddles of Arden networking that can't quite get critical mass, then maybe if we provide a national focus for us, it might help people along in developing their systems. So it's kind of still on my mind, but I suspect lots of groups have got very fixed ways now. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4 stations to go-ish. Andrew, Mike 0, Mike 0, Romeo Oscar Lima, Mike 0 Romeo Oscar Lima, G4 and RC over. 0 Romeo Oscar Lima in the group. Yes, good afternoon, Graham. I wasn't in and out, but I think I doubled on that one. But yes, like a few, I was interested to hear what was happening at the AGM yesterday. Shame it didn't go ahead, but hopefully in a few weeks' time we should be able to do it. But certainly we're bracing ourselves down in Minehead for any sort of pending weather coming in later on in the week. I don't think it's going to hit us quite so bad as our friends in Jersey, but at Storm Force 12. But it's certainly going to be a windy end of the week. But that's all from me, Graham. Back to you. This is M0 ROL. Mike 0 Romeo Oscar Lima, G4 and RC. Okay, apologies. Yeah, we'll get the log slowly sorted out. There's only 2 more to go, really. Yes, I saw the weather forecast was having winds up to sort of 60, 70 miles an hour. Mostly the forecast is bad for, say, Jersey, North, up into South Wales and most of the South Coast, but since that forecast is 3 or 4 days out, then please watch what's going on. I suppose the next question would be how readily could you get a station back on air if your antenna came down? Anyway, 7-3's teeth, thanks for clarifying your out on this one. Philip, good to see you yesterday. Mike India 0, Mark Sierra Oscar, G4 NRC, over.
G4 NRC, yes, great. Likewise, it was nice to see you and everybody else that managed to get to the AGM yesterday. And yeah, disappointing that the actual AGM and EGM didn't take place, but hopefully we'll get that sorted in the near future. Yeah, I got home safely about 2:30 this morning. A long day travelling and whatnot, and just to update you that our Ireland network was really taking pace this week and even since yesterday. And I arrived home to 4 boxes from Amazon with outdoor well-improved boxes with cable entries and outdoor network cable and another MikroTik router and 1 or 2 things to arrive Monday, and hopefully I will have the portable node that links to Starlink ready for the presentation we have to give the resilience forum on Friday. So all going at pace here, all going at pace. But nothing else to add at this stage, and to say it was good to meet everybody in person this thing, do a bit of networking. Back to you there, Greg.
G4 and RC returning. Okay, yeah, 2:30 in the morning. I've, with the comments about the clocks going back, I've realised what's happening. I've left myself in because the clocks have fallen back for me today. I'm in work tomorrow and then flying out to Serbia for the IARU conference, where my clock will go forward again by an hour. I should really have just hidden away for a couple of days and not changed the clocks personally at all. Good to see you've got stuff together for Arden, though. Steve, G4EK, is going to get a message from me when I'm back home, because there's no point in me setting something up if I'm not here to nursemaid it. So, yeah, if we can get people getting in touch with Steve, G4EKM, to get Arden tunnels going, then we can all start talking to each other and understanding how to drive the system and learning some of its foibles. Okay, thanks. One left of sorts. Chris, Golf 3 Victor Echo Hotel, G4 and RC, over. G4NRC, I'm going to suspect it Chris. Another in and out, but I'll try one more time. G3VEH, G3VEH, G4NRC, over. G4NRC, nothing heard. Okay, that's a shame. Right, Graham, G7NEH, you wonder how much we've got on the chat. I know Les is probably watching there. G7NEH, G4NRC, over. G4NRC, G7NEH, returning. Okay. Viewing wise, we've got 5 concurrent viewers and we've had 16 views in total. Not a lot on the chat. Nothing to speak of. Really, Greg, to be honest. So there we go. Not a lot else to add from this end. Apart from those watching the stream, we'll have a little Halloween pumpkin to look at as well by the clock instead of your video. G4NRC, G7NEH.
Wasn't really an option, but the presentations were useful. They were great. If I lost my main station, I would go out to the Land Rover and I'd put the mast up and I'd use the mobile outside. That would be my option. From G8EY, and thanks to both you and Graham for running the net.
G8EY, G4NRC. Yep, or I'd go and grab some of the gear out of the car and tie wrap it to drain pipes and keep the base station going. Depending on what it goes on, but it's the strength and depth, which is where I thought I was with 2 hotspots normally running here all the time, but today having to reach for number 3 hotspot is a bit of a rush. Okay, thanks, Mike. See you next week, obviously, because I'll be elsewhere, but hopefully we'll have a net next week and we will have a go to see what's going on, even if I can't participate. Right, Dave, Mike 7 Alpha Victor Oscar, one where we haven't had the time for a chat. I'll see if I can drop you a WhatsApp later tonight or tomorrow before I go away. M7 AVO with G4NRC, over.
G4NRC, Mike 7 Alpha Victor. Yeah, no problem, Greg. Yeah, whenever you're available, just an update what's going on here. Appreciate your message. WhatsApp the other day. I have been a little tickle and a play with the 300, and I've dropped the AF down a bit, and it has dropped the background noise a little bit down to S4, S5 on 7 megs, and it seems to have quieted down a bit, but we'll wait till the next HF net and perhaps with another go. And I think, yeah, the video that you sent, well, we'll put a couple of, I've got a bag full of RF chokes here, I'll put some of them on the, and see how it works, but I appreciate that, Greg. Problems, I'm taking over the net, and that's that you've got things to tackle. Mike 7, Alpha Victor Oscar.
Mike 7 Alpha Victor Oscar, G4NRC. Okay, yeah, I've got to do the same bag full of chokes affair to see if the common mode noise can be dropped. Different video I saw, if you're going to put snap-on ferrite chokes around for HF, then you can see an effect with 3 chokes. It definitely works with 5, and 7 is starting to push it. So I'm looking for another big bag of ferrite just to see if I can calm my problems down. Okay, 7-3's Dave. Left with you is Trevor, G4KUJ, G4NRC, over.
G4NRC, G4KUJ. Yeah, okay, Greg. Just a comment on Dave. 10% loss again at this end, and BER of 0.1%. All copyable, but the packet loss noticeable. Just, sorry, looking through the log, I don't think I missed anything. Oh, I know what. T1 GDF did call in and out when he called in at the first call-in round, Greg. And finally, you still up for a telephone call, in which case mobile or VoIP, G4NRC, G4KUJ.
G4KUJ, G4NRC. Yes, but I'll have to WhatsApp you when I'm going to be clear and available, Trevor, I think. So it'll be later on this evening. Lufthansa are sort of nagging me for details, and I need to check in as well. Which does actually prompt my comments back about AVO. Obviously, of the HFNet on the 1st of November, I won't be around for that one either, since I'll be away. So I'll remember to get the announcement out Tuesday when I remember to do so, when I get off the plane. Right, moving on. Philip for a final. Golf 4 Kilo and the Lima, G4 and RC.
G4 NRC, G4 KIL. Yeah, I'll try and make the nice combination of making it quick and speaking slowly. I did have a couple of comments mainly to say about the HFNet, which I'm probably not going to make on this Wednesday evening, but there's a possibility. But hopefully for the rest of the month, we're set for 14th, 21st, 28th, which are now on Tuesdays. Hopefully I will be able to make that, so I hope I can go with that one. Leave it at that. Thanks for running the net. And oh, you asked about what happened to the well, most of my stuff is not set up permanently, so at least I'm not likely to have it blown down by a storm. The only thing is the HF antenna, which is at my family home, which is strung between well, basically a house wall and a 10-meter pole. If the 10-meter pole blew over, then I'd string it up on a tree, wouldn't get quite so much height. So the pole was unserviceable. If the wire itself broke, probably try and tie it together. Sorry, the antenna, if that broke. Beyond that, I'm not quite sure. But VHF stuff would do, there's nothing permanent anyway, so I should be fine. Thanks for running that. Oh, I shan't be around next week. That was the other thing I was going to say. Yes, I definitely won't make the net next week. So hopefully talk to you all in a fortnight's time. G4NRC, G4KIL signing.
G4KIL, G4NRC. Okay, thanks for the update for availability on nets. I'm just looking ahead at a near perfect storm that fly out on the 31st and we're back at something like 5 to midnight on the Sunday the 5th. So I get to miss on our West VHF net as well. So I'll be net free for a while, which is unfortunate. Okay, 7-3, hopefully talk to you when on HFNet next time round. I think that'll be the first opportunity for us to talk. Next, it's Dennis, Golf 4 Kilo Whiskey Tango. I wonder if there's any plans on driving a bit more traffic into your AX25 network. Up here, they're tending to use the chat robots in BBQ and using chatbots to keep things moving. G4KWT, G4NRC, over.
G4NRC, G4KWT. Yeah, sorry, Greg. I was quite a lot of breakup on that last over, so I only got the odd words. So I think you said something that was possibly relevant, but didn't get it. Other than that, nothing further from this end. G4KWT.
G4KWT, G4NRC, the comment was that people here to get usage on AX25 was to use the BPQ chat, the BPQ chat facility to get more people actually on air on packet in lieu of other users. Okay, catch you another time. Ian for a final. Golf 3, Zulu Hotel X-Ray, G4NRC, over.
G4NRC in the group, G3ZHX. Yes, I have my sympathy for you with the rapid clock changes. Reminds me of a mad weekend I had once when I flew into England from 3 hours ahead. Was here overnight and then flew to Greece, which was 3 hours ahead again. So I don't actually recall what I did, but I don't think I changed my clock at all. My station here is totally flexible. I have nothing mounted in the house at all, apart from the hotspot. So any problems would have to be dealt with ad hoc, and I don't think there would be of any great duration. I don't know, maybe I'm being overconfident. There is no substitute for live failures, is there, as you've just found out. So with that, I wish you very best, and from G3ZHX, going back to standby.
G3ZHX, G4NRC, yes, I know learning experiences are meant to be wonderful, but I'll be glad to have this one over and done with, and then I can go hunting for yet another dead SD card by the looks of the duplex hotspot. Okay, thanks Ian. I've got a feeling, skipping one, that Drew MFS was going to be in and out, so while Trevor's contemplating that one, I'll take Alan. Mike 0, Juliet Sierra Alpha, G4NRC, over.
Thank you, Greg. I hadn't realised I could use the CryptoPad link I had before to look at today, so I'm watching the log as well today. Couple of 3 things out of all of that then. Like Mike, G8E, while I was simply decamped to a Land Rover and work from there. HF might be a bit more difficult, but I have got antennas I can set up mobile for HF if I have to. I haven't really got an HF antenna at home, that's why. Clock changes. I beautifully changed all the clocks, watches, dialed them all back an hour last night. Only to oversleep this morning because my clock radio added yet another hour back. I didn't know the new clock radio done an automatic time change, which is a bit of a blow really. And finally, the HF nets. It'd be nice to see a list of them somewhere on perhaps on the weekly news. May drag in a few more participants. I'd like to have a go, certainly audio-wise, and I've been making aerials for that. But I'd have to do somewhere to do it because I can't do it here. I haven't got enough room. Have a great trip to Croatia. I hope it all goes well, and speak to you all soon. I'm 0 JSA back to G4NR.
G4NRC returning to M0 JSA. Well, HF net information is on www.raynet-hf.net. Putting it on the news is only part of it, Alan, because it's really on the mailing list the night before where the broad plan tends to get a little bit focused down with is there any specific frequencies we're aiming for. So, since I could put a routine event in, but then like this weekend with a contest on, although the schedule may have called for a particular band, trying to weave a normal net into the middle of the CQ Worldwide SSB contest would have been distinctly problematic. So, yeah, I mean, we could always put these nets in on Sunday as well, but I'm not the only one to do that, so you could probably pass that request on to the OST team leader. Right, thanks Alan. Drew's now been mucked out, so Trevor's rewarded his memory and decided that was the same, so it's Colin, 2 Echo 0, Charlie Mike C, Sierra G4 and RC, over.
Yeah, from 2E0 CMS. Oh yeah, just a quick comeback on the voice over internet phones. The box I've got set up basically has a solar generator in it, a Wi-Fi bridge, a DECT base station with 4 DECT handsets, a desk phone and a network switch. So it can be set up in a low power mode just to run the base station for the phones and the charging for the phones off of USB and DC, or they can be set to run off of mains to power the network switch, and then the network switch will power the base station and also the desk phone. But just regarding the phones and voice over internet itself, we've actually got 3 lines set up on the phones currently. So we've got a exchange one across Kent. So the 4 groups have got a number of handsets in each group. We can dial each other using different extension numbers, which is quite useful. And I spoke to Colin Bowman M0NLP earlier from West Kent, trying to sort out a problem with him setting up a DMR hotspot. But we've also got some admin numbers in there as well. Then I've got a separate line for my own use, and then I've also set up on the Ham Shack hotline as well. But anyway, that's it for me. Unless there's any further questions, I'll say 7 for now. G4 NRC 2E0 CMS.
E0 CMS G4 NRC. Yeah, I think I was looking for was that individual groups will have set up Asterisk or their VoIP system of choice with their own local codes or local extension numbers, but not quite like Hamshat Hotline, but it becomes another single point of failure. But having a method which does exist in the standards of doing effectively domain name server lookups. So if you prefix the phone number, your extension number with your group number from anywhere, then it would tell you which server to go and hit to get through to that extension. So that's another thing to think of as we play and grow systems. Otherwise, they tend to sit and not get used too often, or the use has to be a bit forced. Anyway, a topic for another day with less packet loss. 2 to go. Philip, Mike India 0, Mike Sierra Oscar, G4 and RC, over. Mike India 0, Mike Sierra Oscar, Mike India 0, Mike Sierra Oscar, G4 and RC, over. G4 and RC, nothing heard. So we'll finish with Graham, with thanks again for picking this up at short notice. Golf 7 November Echo Hotel, G4 and RC, over. G3, G7 right, okay, Greg, no problem at all. I'm not sure how much of my last over you actually got. I was talking away and didn't look at the screen, but we've had 18 views so far this week, and currently there are 2 viewing. The maximum views we've had at one time were about 7, or 7 at once. Nothing to speak of in the chat, so there we go. Yeah, no problem. I can do the net next week if need be. So back to you. G4 LLC, G7 NEH. G7 NEH, G4 and RC returning. Okay, Graham, if you can pick it up next week, that would be brilliant. I'll populate it with what's going on. Of course, the same applies. West Cheshire Group Net is that evening. So we have got a couple of things to try and deal with, and I am very much in the air at the time of having both nets next Sunday. Right, I'll catch up with you through the week and sort things out. So with that, with apologies for the disruption, but if everything went smoothly, we wouldn't learn anything. I will thank everybody for taking time out today to take part in the net. Be careful, have a good week, especially with an incoming storm. And until next Sunday at 1600 hours local time, I'll close the RAYNET-UK weekly activity net and return the talk groups to being open talk groups rather than connected ones. 7-3's all, this is G4NRC. Now closing and reverting to my normal call sign of Golf 0 Delta Uniform Bravo, over.